Hi, I'm Zach.
I'm Lucas.
And we watch movies, and today we watched Backrooms, which I was so excited for. Just to give a little bit of context, it's based off of Kane, I think it's Kane Kane Parsons series of Backrooms, which is based off of this, essentially two photos. Yeah. So you don't need to know all of that before going into it. He did not know really anything other than baseline.
I was gonna say I knew baseline knowledge, what the Backrooms was, but not I didn't watch the entire video to get the lore. I kind of wanted to not have the lore, and then
I did the complete opposite.
Yeah, so we have two separate.
Yeah, I watched every single piece of it from Kane's channel, and then breakdowns about them too. And I would say that you don't need to know that stuff, but it did add a nice layer of stuff, maybe. Mm-hmm. I'm curious about what other people thought if they knew nothing about Backrooms.
Yeah.
Not even the images or the idea of Backrooms. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, it's about this guy who is kind of in a failing furniture store, and he stumbles upon a doorway or a portal, whatever you want to call it, to this unknown place, which is seemingly infinite and creepy.
Yeah.
And from there, it kind of goes into a spiral. And also, we will be talking about spoilers from here on, so just know that. I thought we would have seen... So, in the actual series on YouTube, one of the main, entities is, a very, tall spider-like, it almost looks like wires type of thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't in there at all, which is interesting.
No, it wasn't. But I wonder, because the whole thing is that this whole backroom space remembers. But the more that it remembers, the weirder it gets.
See, but I did not know that this was the context before going into it. I did not think that's how the backrooms worked.
I don't know. That's
how they explained it in this.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm wondering if the spider thing that is in his videos are something that, let's say somebody went in.
So it's a longer.
Yeah.
Okay, because there was a part in the series where there's a cameraman, and where they find him, the camera is getting absorbed into the skin, into the body. So
yeah,
maybe
that's what I'm saying. It's just over, because he said that it remembers, and the more that it remembers, the less it actually gets correct. So I'm wondering if somewhere along the line, it got it wrong and created that.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth to it. There overall, yes, it's a horror movie. There are some jump scares.
But I would say very minimal. It's more about the existential dread of never being able to escape.
Yes, which is also what we got with Obsession.
Yeah.
Less jump scares, but more on that holy fuck, I cannot escape from this thing happening for whatever reason.
From both point of views. And
yes.
For example, in Obsession.
Yeah.
From my perspective of only knowing very little and only knowing the concept of what the Backrooms is, just being this infinite room, I thought it was really well done. The sound design in this movie is insane. The sound design was crazy.
Yeah, set design was great.
The set design was great. The acting was good. Yeah, there's something about the sound. I think because I was just watching that video on sound, knowing that affects the way you react and view things. He did something fucked up with that sound.
Yeah, it was, there was a lot of really cool parts and stuff. I'm definitely going to want to watch a little breakdown later of what it is. But I did really like thinking about, when did he decide he wanted to be down there? Be the main character. I don't remember his name. Hold on, let me explain that part. Because why... It's interesting to think about if it was before he brought in the employee and the boyfriend of the employee. It's interesting to think about if he, at that point, had already decided he wants to, live in that world. Or was it sometime in between when his therapist got there and when the other two were brought in? But it is interesting to think about. to think, like, because he did say when they opened the fridge and her body was in there, her head was in there, he was like you just said, he said, like, oh, I tried to help her, but she wouldn't listen or whatever. So it's interesting to think, like, did he at that point already know he wanted to be down there?
Yeah. Well, and what I was thinking too is, so I don't want to spoil the monster aspect.
Okay, you can.
Okay, well, I'm going to spoil the monster aspect. He is the monster. So a recreation of him as, like, his entity in the store. Because his entity in the store is, like, him as a pirate.
Oh, I was going to say this too. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Here's what's really interesting about that. Because the entity version of him, he had a pirate leg. He had a wooden furniture leg. Which tells me that was, like... Obviously, he was doing that as his character, but is it combined with the cameras? Like, is the camera the thing? How it's getting these, like, images of people? Do you see what I'm saying?
No. So that's what I was going to say, is that he was saying that the Backrooms remembers. So in one of the scenes at the end, we see her going, like, you know how it drops down the levels, so like it goes through different levels of her childhood, like, living room.
Yes.
And the further it goes down, the less it looks like that, and the more it looks like the Backrooms. Hence, the more it remembers, the less it actually gets correct. So
yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to watch a breakdown and watch theories about certain things.
So it makes me wonder if they even, like, think, is the Backrooms pulling from their memories?
From the memories, maybe. Yes, that makes sense.
And that's why...
Because that's what I was trying to understand, like, what is remembering them? They're just flying around remembering everything?
I think...
It must be memory-based.
It is memory-based, but I'm wondering if what's happening is that as they get lost in the Backrooms, somehow in that, their memories are getting jumbled in.
And that's how it has all the
And that's
platforms.
how it has everything.
Okay.
Hence why it was able to remember her.
It also didn't show her childhood home until after she was already in the Backrooms.
That's true.
So maybe it is
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's pulling from her memory. And that's why I'm wondering if the people that are being created, are they being pulled from memory also, and that's why they're so fucked up? Because technically he was like, his entity in there, the bad guy, the monster, was not technically incorrect, or at least not fully. Like, yes, he was killing people and eating them and ripping them apart, but for the most part he looked anatomically correct. Besides being, like, super tall and having the peg leg, technically the rest was correct. So is that him because he is physically in the Backrooms and that's why it's not so fucked up?
Maybe.
Or is it because he is so willing to be in the Backrooms and wants to be there that the entity is not so fucked up yet?
That is interesting. I don't know.
But that also begs the question of that is why he is the monster, because he wants to be there.
Maybe. Yeah.
But also, why does he become a monster?
So true.
There's so many things. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I thought it did really well, and I think the cinematography and the way that the rooms are shot, and the way they created the set design is crazy. To have so many different rooms.
Yeah. I guess for me only, I thought it was a little slow in the beginning.
I understand that.
It doesn't help that I was also really tired. But,
I also think that helps for people who actually have no idea what the Backrooms are.
For sure.
Like, zero understanding of the concept at all.
Yeah, and it was still cool to like, see a different perspective and in depth. But, all right, what are you rating it?
I would give it a 4. I really liked it.
Yeah, I was going to say probably 3.75 to 4.
Yeah, it's not as good as Obsession was, in my opinion. But it did really well at what it was supposed to. And I think that over time, if he elects to do a large movie like this again, that it will be better.
Yeah. All right, and then we like to look at Letterboxd and see if it lines up with our score. 3.4. That's actually lower than I expected.
I also expected a little bit higher because here's the thing: the shows are completely sold out, pretty much.
Yeah.
Besides, like the very front rows of the theater, every single showing is sold out.
Yeah.
So I'm actually kind of surprised. I think overall it was done really well. Nice. I think that over time he'll improve if he continues. I know that I saw something about him saying he wants to make a sequel. The thing is about the Backrooms is that you really could make a sequel about. You could continually make movies about it technically. You know, because there's so many different options.
Mm-hmm. All right.
That's it.
Bye.
Bye.